Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Neo. In this video, we are going to be doing this uber gorgeous dreamy Moon and Stars set that I have been thinking about for so long. So just getting started with my normal prep. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but this set I have been thinking about for a really long time. So it's kind of inspired by the sky. I remember once I was driving, and when the sky is when the sun is setting, it's that really gorgeous like orange and purple kind of pastel thing happening with the sky. I have been obsessed with the idea of doing a marble set with kind of like a peachy orange and a light lavender purple. And I don't know why, it's been a few months. I've just been thinking about this set so much. Every time the sun is setting, I'm like, damn, I need to do a set that looks like this. But it just, I don't know, I felt a little bit nervous, I think, and whether or not it was going to come out good. Orange and purple, like what? But it totally worked out amazingly for this set. Just, I don't know, I'm just so proud of the set. It's just so dreamy and beautiful, and I'm kind of just glad that I went for it, because I was really second guessing myself in terms of if it was going to be good, if it was going to even make sense or look aesthetically pleasing. But it came out so beautiful. So this client is, yes, she's on my channel already. So she had that 80s inspired short almondy set. And she came back and kind of told me, I can have long nails now. And I was like, say less, sis, it's going down. So we removed that previous set completely, soaked off, and now we are just getting started with some prep. So you saw I sprayed her down with some alcohol, pushed her cuticles back, and now I'm just going in with my diamond skiver bit. She had those nails about 3.5 to 4 weeks. So there's a bit of growth around the cuticle area, and you see I'm going both directions. So I'm going from right to left with my e-file in the forward direction, and then I click it in the reverse direction, and then I go from left to right. This just helps to ensure that I get both sides of that nail plate, as you can see there, using that skiver bit to kind of scrape away any of that cuticle that might be sitting on the nail plate. Then I'm going to go in with my sanding band. This is a medium arbor band from Young Nails, and I'm just going to buff the surface of the nail, not doing very much, as you can see, just scuffing the nail a little bit to remove the shine and to further buff any cuticle that might be left over on the nail, just to get rid of that. So she said she can go long. I was like, let's do it. So I've got these coffin tips out, these glass coffin tips that I got from Amazon, nothing crazy. And I'm just going to be fitting her with some nails. Check out my nails. I'm actually gonna upload those videos soon, or maybe they might be up already, who knows. But I love these two different sets on my nails, and the colors are just gorgeous. So definitely check that out. Just using a little bit of glue just to make sure that they fit. These these tips do have a well, but I just don't really care about the well. I just focus on making sure that the tips are straight, following the knuckle of the fingers. Like you see, this finger's a little bit crooked to it leans kind of like to the bottom left of the bottom right of the screen. I'm going to just, with my eye, visually, see a straight line down the entire knuckle of her finger, and then place it straight that way, so that the tips don't end up being crooked. Then I'm going to use my straight edge clipper and just cut them down to a decent length for her. She doesn't wear her nails particularly long. So as you can see, I'm just clipping off a little bit, clip, and the tip is done. So I'm just going to be using one hand as a reference. Usually when doing the length part of nails, I'll do an entire hand and then have the client kind of touch their phone, move their hands around, see if they can actually function. She was saying that it was as long as mine, and I was like, no girl, it is not. So I was just showing her that her nails are not as long as mine. But yeah, I usually try to do one hand, have the client kind of move around, see if it feels normal for them or natural or even manageable, and then if they agree, then I just use that hand as a reference, as you can see here, to then get the other tips to be the same exact length. So this client actually requested that the pinky be a stiletto nail, and I was super excited about that. I don't think I've done stiletto nails on clients in a really, really long time. So I was like, yeah, let's go for it. Just using my straight edge clipper to kind of help me out a little bit and clip the sides. Especially with the straight edge, you don't have to worry about it being curved. It just kind of takes away excess product, so you don't have to do too much filing. I'm going in with this 80/80 grit, and I'm just going to make sure that it's a nice sharp shape. I'm not focusing on getting it extremely, extremely pointy and sharp now, because I find that with stilettos, it's best to leave a little bit of extra tip so that when you go in with the product, then you can file it and it'll be full and super sharp. So I'm just giving it a light, light, light shaping. I'm not going in and making it like an extreme like triangle shape. Just making sure that it goes in that stiletto-esque shape, and then I can sharpen it up as necessary a little bit later. And for the rest of the nails, just making sure that the sidewalls are nice and tight. Sometimes I will use a tip that's slightly larger, so then you can just use your file to just make sure that it fits completely with the client's nail bed, and then making sure that the shape at the free edge is nice and sharp as well. Just using the same sanding band, just do a little bit of blending on these tips. I want there to be a seamless transition from the tip. And as you can see, I'm not really focusing on her natural nail bed. I'm literally just using that arbor band on the smile line of where that tip was placed, so that we have a nice transition from the nail to the extension. So for prep, I'm just using my Young Nails swipe. I've been doing this a lot. It's just good because I'm a little bit lazy. So I'm just using Young Nails swipe as my dehydrator, and then a little bit of the Young Nails protein bond on the natural nail as my primer. If you know, you know. I'm going in with a clear bead of acrylic, or clear coat of acrylic, down every single length of the nail. And this is just to give me a smooth surface to build on. It helps when clients come back for removal. I don't have to remove the entire set, including the tips. I can just file down to this clear layer, and it will be there to kind of protect the natural nail and not compromise that tip as well before redoing a different design. Nothing crazy. I'm using Young Nails, actually. I think I'm using Young Nails Core Clear and the Young Nails Monomer. I love this system. It's been working for me. Definitely check it out if you're more of a beginner. It's got a really good setting time. You can really, really work with this product before it polymerizes. If you feel like you need it a little bit faster, they do have a speed clear as well. I have that and it works fairly fine too, but I have like the super large, I think it's like the 660 gram container of this. So I'm like, I gotta use this because it was super expensive and I have a ton of it. But yeah, it's just applying a nice, super fast coat of clear acrylic down the length of every single nail, making sure not to flood the cuticle and sidewall areas, and just give a nice coating to each nail, maintaining that shape as well. Okay, so we're getting to the fun stuff. So these are the two colors that we're using. This is also another bomb set. You want to know why, guys? Because it's a thermal set. So that peach color is a peach that I recently purchased. Actually, I think I got it that same day in the mail, and I was like, you know what? This is cute. I'm gonna use it. But the purple color is actually the thermal acrylic. So this is another thermal from Revel Nail. You know, I love a thermal acrylic, and it is called Hydra, and it changes from a pastel kind of purple to a light pink. So it is just perfect for this set, especially considering we are using or inspired by sunset vibes. I know for me, I was really nervous about marbling these two colors together, but I promise I had been thinking about this marble situation for months, guys. Like, it was just on my mind. I was like, damn, who can I do this on? And it just came out so gorgeous and dreamy. In terms of doing a full nail marble, you see I'm going in with that light peachy color right at the cuticle. I find if you don't do that, usually I end up with like a gap at the cuticle area, and I didn't want that. So I always try to just place a little bit of a bead of one of the colors so that the cuticle is completely covered, and then we can just start marbling from there. I'm using extremely tiny and wet beads. I didn't want one color to kind of overpower the other, and peach and purple, the purple could easily overpower that. So I'm just making sure to use really tiny, as you can see there, beads, and just swirling the colors around so we get a little bit of both, so that it just emulates a really gorgeous kind of like pastel sunset vibe. I'm going to be marbling, as you saw in the pinky, I did a partial marble there because we're going to be ombreing a nude over that. On the ring finger and middle finger, we're going to do a full nail of marble with these two gorgeous colors, and then on the thumb we're going to do another partial because we're going to ombre that as well. You're gonna see the color changing in that purple color. It's really subtle. Love it so much, but it changes from a kind of like a deep lavender to like a light pastel pink, which is really cool and apt for this set because that's a color that's in sunsets as well. And look at how beautiful that is. So cute. So I'm going to be going in with some base gel coat, and look, it's changing color. I was showing her that it changed from the pink to the purple. Super, super cute. I'm just going in with some base gel just to smooth out these nails. I will be encapsulating and painting and doing just a whole bunch of stuff on top of this marble. So I wanted to kind of smooth out the surface. When marbling, I find I get like a really ridgy, just because I'm swirling products around and they set in like different layers. So just adding base coat and have her cure so that we have a nice smooth surface to then add clouds to. So I didn't actually intend on adding clouds. After the marble, I sat there for a few minutes just going back and forth with her, like, what do you think we should do? This is the, you know, the vibe that I thought I was going for. And I was just like, I'm just gonna add some clouds because this is a sunset kind of dreamy pastel set and clouds need to be involved. So I'm using a Q-tip, as you can see, and some white gel paint, and we are just dabbing some cloud shapes. You know, channeling my inner Bob Ross. Sorry that my nail's in the way, but we are just dabbing, I guess, you know, clouds onto her nails. You kind of see the shape that I'm going for, kind of fluffy and round dots on the top and keeping the bottom a little bit straight so that it looks like clouds facing in our direction, like how we're looking at the nail this way. It looks a little strange, but I promise by the end of the set it's going to make so much sense. And there's no rhyme or reason for the clouds. Got to fix that one at the cuticle because it was just like a dot there. But it all came out so great together. I was so happy, yeah, fixing that one because it just looked like a tiny little blob there. After happy with the clouds, I'm gonna have her cure for 30 seconds and then that will be set on those nails. So at this point, we decided to encapsulate some moons and stars on these nails. If we were gonna go and think about the sky, we had to put them in there. I did go back and forth with her about whether we should use silver or gold, but we ended up using gold and just touches of silver, and it just came out perfect. The gold looked really gorgeous on top of these colors. I'm going in with some bling gel to adhere them. Normally I would just use like clear acrylic, but I didn't want to bother with acrylic, so I'm just going in with some bling gel and just adding a rough, you know, coat or layer of bling gel to all of the nails wherever that marble and cloud effect has been added. So that's another reason why I placed that marble so thin, is because we knew we were going to be doing a little bit more on top, and if not, it would be super bulky. So I basically did a paint thin marble. We added the clouds, base coat. Now we're adding some bling gel because we're going to encapsulate some a little bit chunkier pieces. This is another set of moons and stars. I don't know, these moons and star sets just, I don't know, they just resonate with me. They're so cute and dreamy and ethereal, and I just love that vibe. So as you can see on the table, we've got some assorted pieces out. I do have silver charms, like silver little dome pieces as well. I thought it would be cool to incorporate silver into it, and it just definitely came out really cute. One thing to keep in mind is to not put super large pieces around the side walls of your nails, because when you go into file, you will file them off. I know some of the pieces I did file a little bit through, but nothing crazy. I'm trying to put the larger pieces in the middle of the nail and then like the smaller, thinner pieces on the edges. And because it's bling gel, I have all the time in the world. I don't have to worry about adding more acrylics, to add the pieces. Bling gel, until you cure, it is still wet. You can change your mind, you can wipe off. And as you can see, I am just, look how beautiful that looks, guys. Like just adding some more pieces. I was like, need a little bit more of this. And these are all assorted pieces that I get from Amazon. These cases, like that 12 compartment case, I actually purchased on Amazon. It was like a 10 pack of these 12 piece cases, and whenever I buy charms, I just dump them in there. I think it's, got rid of that. I just think it's helpful to kind of keep all of my charms in these little containers. It's just easier for organization, and I can kind of see everything. And also I can put things in terms of themes. So like if I buy a set of charms from AliExpress and they're moons and stars, and then I have another one from Amazon, I can put all of them in those 12 compartments so that I know this is my moons and stars container. Super, super gorgeous. Love this one in particular. It has so much texture. But yeah, just making sure to space them out appropriately, not have too many of the same type of item next to each other. And it definitely helps to, I guess not camouflage, but just kind of push the clouds back towards the background. And then the pink and purple are in the background as well. It's so cute and dreamy, guys. Like, please let me know if I'm not crazy. These nails came out so freaking pretty. I'm gonna do the same thing on this nail, and then on the partial nail with the thumb. Once happy with the placement of all of these pieces, I'm gonna have her cure because it is on gel, bling gel. So once cured, then they will be locked down on the nail. So I'm offering an apology. I don't know what, oh, my camera ran out of space. That's what happened. So on the pointer finger, we actually went back and forth deciding what we were gonna do. I knew that I was gonna do a nude ombre over the pinky and thumb, but I initially intended to do a nude nail on the pointer, but I'm really, really glad that I didn't. I'm actually going in with that Hydra nail color from Revel. It's a dip powder slash acrylic. And I was just like, let's just go in with this purple. It does change to a light pink. I just thought that it was so perfect to incorporate a full nail of this color so that we get the effect of it, but the camera died. So definitely didn't see the full application, and you did not see me ombreing the nude over the pinky and thumb, but I'm using Young Nails Cover Earth. It's a nice matte kind of cool toned brown. I think just worked really, really nicely. It doesn't take, it's not too like pastel-y or beigey, so that it takes over that, it draws away from what we did on the tip of the nail. It just kind of gives you a nice smooth transition from a natural nail color to the beautiful marble and encapsulation set. And you have to be a little bit careful when ombreing over that nail, because there was encapsulated pieces. So if you use more of a wet bead, then the color might, you know, get caught up on the edges of those pieces, if that makes sense. Now I'm just going in with my regular clear capping. As you can see, this is a stiletto nail, and what I meant by not over filing it to make sure that it's like a super point in the beginning. As you can see here, we have a nice natural kind of shape that I will be able to then make super sharp in the filing process. So just clear capping all of the nails. We are encapsulating some pieces, so just making sure that we fully get them stuck in under the acrylic, and then just making sure to protect the rest of the nails. As you can see, we've got a beautiful shape on this pinky. Nothing crazy, just building up for structure and encapsulating all of these amazing pieces that we've added to the nails. After that acrylic application, I'm going in with my e-file. This is a medium carbide bit. I love a medium. It just gives me just enough of a smoothing, I guess, option while also leaving a tiny bit of texture. So if you ever want to go in with hand painting or just your gel top coat, it has a little bit of a scruffy texture so that you can get good adherence with that one. But for the most part, I'm just smoothing out the surface of the nails. I find that my acrylic application is fairly smooth, but sometimes you might feel a little bit of a lump or a bump here or there. And then I'm just taking my time to clean the sidewalls and cuticle area as well, debulking where necessary, pushing that apex to where it needs to be, and being careful in terms of not shaving off too much of the pieces. I think on maybe one nail, there was a piece that was along by like the sidewall, and I had to like shave off of it a little bit, but it wasn't a big deal because it was a chunkier piece, so it was gold all the way through. Once happy with that, now I'm going to go in with my hand file and perfect the shapes for each of the nails as necessary. So for this pinky, we are just making sure that it's a nice stiletto. I'm not going in for a super sharp like triangle stiletto. It's more of like a softer stiletto, but I'm just making sure. I don't want it to like, she was actually saying to me, oh, this is my first time doing stilettos. I think I want to do a whole set. And I was like, girl, I love a stiletto, but I'm so traumatized. One time I was putting on leggings and I literally poked holes in every single legging that day. And it was just like, so I was just like, we can do a full stiletto set, but just beware, you might poke holes in your clothes. But yeah, just making sure that it's not super sharp. But for the rest of the shapes, we're going in for a tapered square to coffin shape, just making sure that those are super sharp because we love a nice square shape. So interesting, if you look on the table, we've got lots of bling down there. I actually built up a really gorgeous rhinestone pattern with this really cool moon with star charm that had the same kind of pastel orangey kind of colors in it. And on her other hand, we actually did this pattern, but it ended up being too busy. I felt like because the vibe of the set was mostly about the marble and the encapsulation, I didn't want to take away from it with bling on this solid purple finger. So I just changed my mind and built up a nice thin small kind of rhinestone pattern that incorporated all of the colors. So we've got crystal AB. I added 2 gold charms, a really gorgeous kind of rose pink Swarovski rhinestone, a pastel light pink one, and then a crystal AB rhinestone. I just thought that it was just enough bling. We incorporated the colors from the marble and the encapsulated pieces, and it sat on that beautiful purple nail. So the final step is to glossy top coat. We did go back and forth about whether it should be matte or glossy. The matte, as you can see, like it is now, is as is, and it kind of gives you a subtle look. It's kind of like a cloudy sunset sky, but we decided to go glossy so that you can see all of the details in these nails. We have a beautiful marble, we have clouds back there, we've got moon and stars and little twinkles in there. Let's make it glossy so that we can see the whole thing. Once happy, I'm gonna have her cure for 60 seconds and this set is done. All right, guys, this is what that set ended up looking like. I'm so happy that I just kind of went with my gut. I have been thinking about this set for so freaking long. Here's another shot for you, and it's so crazy. You just gotta try. Honestly, I was really afraid that it wasn't gonna be pretty, but look at how dreamy and beautiful. It literally gives me the vibes that I get when I'm driving and I see the sky that looks like that. Thank you so much for watching. Like if you like, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.